having a World Championships to himself. 3 of his 5 wins coming in Itapema, though, for Andre on the World Tour, which is an interesting fact for me, that 60% of his victories have come on the same beach.
Down the line.
He absolutely does. He's got this heavy swing to the sideline as well, where he'll just sit the defender around, and then he'll come back to the line, loopy as you like. But he started with his line ball early on here.
And a bit of a rally here early in this match, and a scoop from George Wanderlei. And right off the net, around 3 meters, where George Wanderlei likes his sets to begin with, he pings one down the line.
And it should be packed come finals day.
Here's a ball for Andre, who takes a swing, and it's sharp as can be there, Louis. The other day, and Hendrik Moll really impressed me with his ability to block and attack at the net. There's a good play there from Guto. And Andre finishing it off with the chip.
Marcus Moll, the younger Moll, currently in Lithuania, playing in the Futures event as well.
Good hustle there from Alison. He can't get that ball back over the net. Blocking yesterday that got trending, and man, I wish I was blocking like that with his head above the net. That huge pickup there from Guto, and he puts it away.
Yeah, he's so high, and his hands are always in the right spot. Crab haven't made the main draw this week, and they're a fantastic side, and the depth is crazy in this draw nowadays. When he does get the third ball, he does a good job of staying aggressive. I mean, very difficult for Guto to give it the hammer when being served short, but he does a good work of speeding his arm up down that line, and that was good enough to score. Does a good job of staying really high. Oh, Alison suck it in.
There's a massive block for Alison. We've been waiting for him.
Yeah, get his stuff on the outside. That's great footwork.
Andre there taking matters into his own hands.
Because of blockers like Alison being so good, if you play the up and down ball all the time and you allow him to see you, they had to find another way. And now it's Alison charging in again. And that's why I got excited earlier on, because what you see is these blockers like Alison just evolving over time. They've been the best blockers throughout, and it's another huge rally.
Another scoop here for Guto. And Andre ends this wild rally with a monster block. Guto from the right, and he scores a great short serve here to Andre. All the way out, Guto makes a dig, but puts a little too much energy back into that ball, and it sails wide.
Andre says, yes, I can.
Good middle serve. Here's Alison, and he finds the block of Andre. Alison trying to hammer into the angle, and he gets denied. Great pass from Guto. And Guto hammers one into the cross court after that stellar serve, but better.
He's forcing the other team to do a lot of good things to score the point here.
And an option play there from Andre and George. And it looks like, Louis, that George pushes that ball wide purposely.
Guto not spin serving now. Going back with the float serve.
George from overhead, and another scoop from Guto. This set a little bit off the net, and he brings more heat than George on that swing from 3 meters. Are you kidding me? Here's Guto out of the timeout. Another stellar dig from Guto. He's way off the net. What does he do? He rips, and that's dug. Another dig from Guto, but a net violation. Guto is everywhere. Alison with the deep serve, and unreal pass from George Wanderlei. And he chips one to the line, and that one scores. So we've seen heat after heat. Set point here for George and Andre. And Andre on cue, when it matters most, clutch block for Andre.
Guto, but that's an outrageous play.
Option play from Andre and George, and that is definitely something that they have worked on.
Stay high off the fingertips is is key. And I think that's one thing that you can tell between the great players and the players on the way up, is that sometimes they're scared to challenge.
Not avoiding that block as much as you want to make that block your best friend and find ways to score off that. There's a good run down from George Wanderlei. This ball a little off the net. And somehow George Wanderlei hits this cut shot and Guto can't get a hand.
I mean, so many people talk about how height, and athleticism is so key in every inch of the game, blockers, defenders, but you watch the likes of Guto
and a little tight and high IQ play there from Andre to drop his hand on that tight ball. And the fans getting involved here in Jurmala. And here to start, opportunity for George Wanderlei from the right. And George Wanderlei takes a rip, I believe, off the left-hand side of Alison there.
fans that appreciate what Alison's done in such a fantastic career.
Over the top goes Andre.
Proving that he has got the physicality. Might not be able to hit the same sharp angles as some at times, but he does bring physicality all the time, and it opens up shot. It's a really good move to the line, though.
Alison from off the net, somehow scoring on the fadeaway swing. Alison.
We've seen that play before. You see it so often. The Vikings are so good at being 2 or 3 down and working their way back into the game through patience and making reads, and there's an opportunity that goes astray, which is... And now Alison just asking the questions. This time the pass is really far off the net. He's under immense pressure here, and Guto knows that by sitting in the right spot. Gets a little bit lucky there.
On one, spiking that dig. There's a good serve down the middle to Guto. And Guto hits that one long, and another angle swing from Guto. This time it's in the net, so back.
So isn't it? That sharp ball away from the body.
Oh, that set is a little funky, and that one is up. No, it's not. It's down.
This time.
Good set there from Andre. George Wanderlei looking for the cut shot from a difficult angle.
For them in sets 1 and the early phases of set 2's much more of a struggle.
That option play is picked up from Guto. Open net for Guto. An amazing dig from George Wanderlei. Can he terminate? Oh, amazing dig from Guto. And somehow Guto gets some speed on that swing underneath the block of Andre.
Run the option ball from left to right side.
There's an option play that works to perfection for George and Andre, but the pressure you can feel.
For sure. George and Andre will want to get this done in 2.
There's a scoop from George. He goes to chip it. Guto's all over it. Another opportunity here for George from way off the net. Recycled. Oh, and the cheeky little cut shot from George, and Guto and Alison can only laugh.
Absolute magic at times.
Here's Guto to stay alive. And a timely dig from George. Short shot is picked up. Another great dig. George with no one up. Alison says we're not done just yet.
Rally to put the ball away. And now we have a game on our hands.
Line shot is extra crispy there from George Wanderlei, who's in a second match point here for Andre and George. A left-handed scoop from George Wanderlei. And a final block there from Andre to seal the victory. And George Wanderlei and Andre Loyola sneak away here in this second set to walk away victorious.